All right, so we have a base header that we started working on. The computer keeps crashing on me, so I lost some stuff, and I tried to like fix it to where we were when we left off. So if it's slightly off from where we were, just, I don't know, look to see what my code is and try to copy it. So I apologize for that. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to make a header, right? So basically we're making a sandwich. We're going to have this first section, our content that we'll make inside of WordPress, and then a footer section, okay? So in this header, what I want to do basically is set up Bootstrap Shell. Because if you remember, we're doing Bootstrap. So first thing I do is I got to do a div with a class container. So container or container fluid. In this case, I'm going to do fluid. So it's ooey gooey good, I guess. Div and tab that in. Okay. And then after we do the container, we always do a row, right? So we'll do a div class equals row, right? And that's good. And then inside the row, we do columns, right? So then we'll do div class, yep, and then column dash sm. So I'm just have this go the full stretch. So I'm just do sm for small. And then we're going to say 12. So it goes the full Monty here. All right. So div. All right. Now what I want to do is I want to put a navbar in there. I'm just going to use the Bootstrap navbar, but I mean, if you want to make something more custom, that's totally up to you. That's fine. In my case, I'm just going to use the Bootstrap as a starting point. So I'm just going to go ahead and go in here and type in get bootstrap.com. Okay, getbootstrap.com. I'm going to go documentation. I'm going to go to components and the navbar. And if I scroll down here, I'm just going to take this one here. Okay, so nav to nav, Command C. And I'm just going to paste it right in here, Command V, and bam. So there's the nav. I'm just going to back this up. Okay, and then go from here to here, and I'm going to tab this in. One more, and then back this up. Okay, good. So now I've got that nav in there. I'm gonna go ahead and save it, and it should work. So I'm just in my subpage here. I'm gonna Command R, and you can see it didn't work. So let's go over here. Oh, this is why it's not working. So I make sure I save this, but the header is not gonna function yet until we actually load it. Oh, I haven't opened up that folder yet. Okay, so I'm gonna right click and reveal in Finder. And apps, public, content, themes, cone theme, and I need to go to the page. We're going to drop that in here. Okay, so now we're in page. So it has to be told to load in the footer or the header. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to do, we're going to tell it to load up that file. Okay, so, and it's just going to be get. So we're already, this opens up in PHP and closes PHP here. So our opens here, closes here, then opens and closes. So we're all pretty good on that. So since I'm already in PHP, I'm just going to be get header. It's pretty simple. Boom. And that's going to go ahead and get the header. So now I'll save that. And now you can see there's the nav bar right there, just like it looks like in theirs. Okay, so that works pretty good. I mean, not great, but it's sort of there. So let's go back to header here. So I have a closing for everything too, right? Just making sure. Okay. So I have the nav bar in there, but obviously this is not quite what I want. So I'm just going to change some formatting stuff real quick first. I'm just going to pull this back over. So right off the bat, I'm not a big fan of this nav bar button thing, right? If I want to change some of these other things here, I can change that as well. Let's see, button. We're going to leave that one. And these are all okay. And I don't like the form, so I'm going to get rid of the form as well. And we'll save that, go back here, and you can see, okay, now we have a normal looking nav bar. And it's got the whole responsive menu button too. Okay, so that's great. So there's that. But you can see these are literally what's in here. Now, I could hard code these and then attach them to my site and do it specifically for it. But the whole point of using WordPress, right, or one of the many points, is to make the content dynamic. So I'm going to do instead is I'm going to have us make a menu that we can draw from. So if we go over here, and if I go to, I'm going to select this, and let me just And I'm going to go to admin. So WP admin. I log in, and then if you go to appearance, menu should show up. So mine is showing up, but it shouldn't be showing up yet because I didn't fix that. Hang on a second. So inside of your functions, so you kind of pop that in there. Okay. Inside of functions, am I in the right one? I am not in the right one. Hang on a second. Reveal and finder. Wow, I got like 1,000 of these. Okay, and let's minimize you. Okay, so if I go to app, public, WP content, themes, cone theme. Okay, I'm gonna take this functions and I'm gonna plop it in here. So I already added this thing here, so I gotta take this out because you don't know what we did yet. So it shouldn't have been showing up yet. I'm gonna save it so you guys can see. So if we hit Command R and I refresh it, you'll see when I go to appearance, there's no menus because we haven't built that into our theme. Our theme doesn't have that currently as a feature. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it a feature. So to do such a thing, we are going to add it in. Okay, so right now we have this, which you guys already did, site files, and this basically just loads the files into the site. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna make another function. And I'm going to call this one theme underscore features. Okay, so this is just going to be a custom function that we're going to make. And basically, it's going to allow us to add some features to our theme. Okay, but we have to have a hook, right? So we have to have what we call an event listener. So this one says when it's loading scripts, run the site files, because these are all just scripts and CSS and stuff, right? That it's going to run. So for this one, it's going to be kind of similar. So we're going to do add action. And we're going to give it, this is when we want it to happen. We want it to be after setup underscore theme. So after the theme is set up, and then what it's going to run is this function here, right? So the second thing's the function that it runs. This is what it's listening for, and this is what it's going to run. So in this case, it's going to be theme underscore features. Okay, so now, oh, and semicolon. All right, so now we have that. Now what I need to do is tell it what I want to do. So, did we already do this? Maybe we did have the add. I think we did add theme underscore support. Do this if it wasn't already on there. I think I deleted this without, and I shouldn't have because I think we already had that. So if that's the, if we already did this, sorry. And it's not add them support, add theme support. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to register underscore nav underscore menu. So we're going to register a nav menu, and the it's going to be head menu loc. All right, that's just a name that we're going to make up for it. How we're going to reference it basically, and it's going to be a header menu location. Okay. And while we're at it, let's just go ahead and do one also for a footer in case you want to have a footer one. So it's just going to be the same thing here, but instead of head, we're going to write foot. And instead of header, it'll be footer. Oops, footer. Okay, go ahead and save that. Now, Command S or Control S, I'm going to hit Command R, and now you'll see when I go to appearance, menus are an option. So I'm going to click on menus, and apparently I already... Actually, we'll just say that it was one. Okay, so yay. If it didn't have one, just hit create, but I'm just going to go ahead and hit save. So now I got this menu. I just named it main, and then I'm going to turn on header menu. Okay? And I only have these two pages right now. So goody. All right. Now, if I hit Command R, it doesn't change anything because it's still using the code in here. Not here, sorry. In here to generate it. And right now we just have it hard coded. What I want to do instead is have it generated by the PHP. So I'm going to do is from UL to UL. So basically this unordered list here. Okay. Notice that so basically this unordered list, I want to take that and we are going to delete it. Okay. Because that unordered list is our menu. So now if I go to refresh it, you're not going to see probably anything. I think you'll see the bar there, but that'll be it. Instead, we're going to use our code to fill this information out. Okay, so to do it, we're going to go into PHP mode. So boom, oops, not that, sorry. There we go. PHP. All right, come on, then tab. Actually, let's go ahead and close it out too, just so that's all set. Okay. Now inside of this, what we're going to do is we're going to use a thing called WP nav underscore menu. And we're going to give it an array, okay? Like this. I'm just going to put a semicolon on the end of it, okay? And inside of this array are all the things that we're going to send this function to tell it what how to make the menu, okay? So I'm going to say enter. And now we're in here, okay? So I'm just breaking the array up. This is technically where it ends. It's just easier to work with when it's chunked up like that. Let me just tab. Okay. And so things we're going to want to send it is one, theme underscore location. So the theme location. And we're going to give it the head menu loc. And if you remember, that was the name here that we gave it. That's our unique name that we're using. Okay. So head menu loc. And that's good. Now, if I do that, that will work now. Command R. And you can see, ooh, but what you will notice is it looks like junk. It's got the stupid bullet points, which isn't really helping us much. So I want to remove that. The reason why is that it's giving us the menu and it's giving us an unordered list, but it's not being formatted by Bootstrap anymore. It's just a list of links. If you look at the, I don't have it open anymore, but if you look at the Bootstrap, each one of those links and the unordered list, they had classes attached to them that were Bootstrap specific. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add those using this as well. So I'm going to say the items in this, we're going to add menu underscore class. Okay, and we're going to give that, we're going to give it that, the dot nav. These are the classes we're going to give it. So navbar dash nav and Mr. Auto and justify. Justify content center. Okay. And that should be good. So let's save that. And now you'll see, yay, it looks a little bit better. Okay. Now, you might not like the formatting. I don't blame you. I'm not a big fan of it either. So, let's see. I think we could probably add, let's say, to this let's say the, let's add it to div class. Is that inside of that div? Give an ID, navbar supported content. Let's add another ID to this, and we'll call it header nav items. Okay. And so what we'll do is that in our CSS, so let's go ahead and save that. And if we hit Command R, good. So what I can do now is, because I added this ID, there was already one in here for navbar supported content. I can use this to select those things. So I'm going to go ahead and I think this is it here. So I'm taking my styles, and then what I can do is, don't mind this, I could do money symbol, nav bar. Actually, I don't remember what it was called. What was it? Where are you? Header. I'm just going to copy it. Command C. Command V. I wasn't even close. So hashtag nav items, and then we'll do A. All right, so I'm in my selector. So I want to select the links that are inside of this ID, and we'll just do like color. We'll say red, just so we can see it. Okay. And then let's go back here and Command R, and looks like it didn't work. So header nav items. Let's see. Where is all the code? Okay, boom, boom. Here we go. So header nav items, and then let's see. Let's say we do. Where are you? So leave this here, but what I ended up doing is I went here, and instead of, I took it out of here. I took this, I cut this out, Command X. So I took it out of this one. I think it was just competing with this one, so it was losing out. And then I just, in my row up here, my div class row, I just put an ID and made that the nav items, and that worked. Okay. And so I changed the color there, which is kind of ugly, but I could do things too, where like maybe I do padding left, right, and do like, I don't know, 10 pixels or something. And R. See how that gives them space now? So if you want to select them, that's another way of doing it. But basically I can build some of like my IDs here, or class. I could have made a class, things like that, in order to make sure I'm able to select the things as I'm making them. All right. So that now is set up. But if I wanted to add more elements in here, I totally could. I could, if I wanted to, you know, even before this one, add like another row and column, and then put like a title up here of my site name, right? Or put an image or something like that, instead of just this thing from my footer. Okay. So make sure that's saved. Now, an easier way of working is actually, instead of having to grab each one of these, I can grab this folder and open up the folder by dragging it in here, and then that way I have all of the elements in here. Oh, let's close out of this. This is unsaved, but it wasn't supposed to be there. Don't save. Okay, so I want to add a footer. It's exactly the same as when I did my header, so I'm just going to go in here and make a new sheet, or you could right click here and do footer, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to call it footer.php. All right, and it's going to be a lot like the header. Okay, so we're basically going to follow the same process. Actually, let me check one thing. Did I remember to do that yet? Yes, I did. Okay. So it's going to be the same thing. So I'm going to start off, and I'd put in whatever I'd want. So we'll just say div class, right? And we'll just go ahead and do container. I'm not going to do container fluid this time. And then I'd close the class, right? And then inside of here, do a row. I'm sorry, not a row. Div class row. Okay, and then close the row. And then inside of that tab, do another div class. And then it's column dash sm. And let's say we do 4. So we'll do, or 3. So we can do 4 of these in a row. All right. And then div, and then inside of that, I'd put something. So we'll say column, or sorry, I should make it a P, and we'll say column. All right, so just imagine I did something cool there. All right, and what I could do is just copy and paste this, Command C, Command V, enter, Command V, enter, Command V. Okay, so now I have that. That looks pretty good, but just as if you remember when we were doing header, you remember we had to start with the top and stuff, and we did body, but we didn't close it, because next would be our content, the main body of our content, and then after that would be the footer. So the footer actually has to have the ending of what we would normally have, okay? So you need to close your body here. Oops, I don't know why I did capital there. Body, and then close the HTML, okay? Now there's one other thing we need to do. If you remember in here, at the top, I did this that said that basically gives WordPress the last, it gives it the last say as far as like how to display the header. I need to do the same thing here, except for, you probably already know what we're going to write. So let's just open and close PHP, and it's going to be WP underscore footer. Like that, okay? And that will allow that to go in there. And if I save it and I reload it here, you're going to see that it's not going to work because, move you out of the way, we need to actually add it to the page. So if you look, you can see it says get header. What do you think we're going to put underneath here? That's right, get footer, okay? Now if I go over here and Command R, then boom, you can see there's my footer. And there's my header, and it's on every page, okay? And you can format those however makes you feel, you know, warm and fuzz. You could do like we did before, where you could have another menu down here, like I already set up to have another menu. Okay, and then let's see if there's something else I wanted to add. So let's go to page, and I think we have all the stuff in here that I generally wanted. I think what I might do is this, just to make things a little bit more, because if you look, you see we always did the div container and div container. Let's, inside of here, just go ahead and on the top we'll do a div class equals, this is on the page because this is the single page, and we'll just say container, just so that that is set up, and then at the bottom here do div. All right, so that way when we go to make our content, I can put columns and rows, and because they'll all be wrapped inside of that. Other than that, this should be fine. Command R. Good. And now what I can do is I'm gonna go to my site, and let's just go to Cone site. Let's make a new page, and let's add new. I'll just say let's see. Can I do this block? No block selected. I want to write it the old-fashioned way. It's not really. Let me see. Add heading. Search for block. Yeah, well. Anyway, so you can write it in there, and then you should be good to go. And don't mind this. I don't know what that is. Pages. Stay on page. I don't know what that one is either. Okay. But we should have the basic stuff at this point. So you should be able to put your content in, and so on and so forth. But now you have you have your own footer and your own header. So that's basically what you want to do to have that complete. But you should try to make this style more robust. Now to do the index, you basically probably want to do something sort of similar. Right now you just have it head custom written. Okay. So if we, let's see, if we go to the site, let's just go to pages, stay on page, save menu. I don't know what I did there. Okay, pages. Let's go to my first page, and let's go ahead and preview it. Okay, so we have this sort of stuff going on. All right. Yeah, so should be good to go. All right, good luck.